So it's only a short video today, but recently somebody kind of mentioned, gosh, you know, it must be expensive to do what you're doing. And actually it's not. I said to them, you know, I started off with nothing. I started off with a little old used surf box with just an old set of spanners in. I'd already got a socket set, which I'd inherited, and I'd got probably the poshest tool I own, a snap-on breaker bar, which had come from a previous marriage. So I thought today might be an idea to give those a little look round on what it is I actually have and where I got it from. So yeah, let's have a little look, and maybe this will encourage people to sit and think, actually I can do this and it doesn't cost thousands of pounds. So I think the biggest outlay for me is the workshop, and at the moment I still have the old unit running because the council is still checking out the person that wants to take on the lease. So your biggest thing is always going to be your workshop or your space that you're going to work. If you're lucky enough to have a big garden and you can put something up there, then so be it. I am incredibly lucky because my little workshop, the 2 containers, are sat in the compound of quite a well-known garage in Kidderminster. So not only do I get the protection of a weekend of, you know, I'm locked into a compound and people aren't passing, but in the week, if I am genuinely stuck, I literally walk a few paces into the workshop and I'm just like, help! I can't deal with this, and I get help, and that's, you know, that's incredible, and I am extremely lucky there, and that's probably something that not everyone can get. So the first part of it is obviously your workshop or where you're going to work. But, you know, hey, like Matt Armstrong, he started out on his driveway, you know, and look at him now. So even if you haven't got a workshop, anything is possible if you put your mind to it. So some of you will absolutely recognise my surf box. And it was just ideal for me. I had a set of old Imperial spanners, and they stay in there now for Muriel, although I do have a nicer toolbox. So the spanners that were in there, again, 9 times out of 10, if you're working on older vehicles and people know about it, they will say, oh, you know, I've got an old set of spanners, or you know, I'm having a clear out of my granddad's place. And I was incredibly lucky to be passed quite a lot of tools, mainly the older ones. And because I work on classics, it's the Imperial that I need. So I have a lot of older style tools. Then I've got this roll cab and top box, which I've only recently been given, and that was by my dad. You'll notice there's a drawer missing. There's a couple of drawer runners that are a little bit dodgy on it, and I want to refurb it, but it's absolutely excellent. The bottom box has got some stuff in now. Again, most of these screwdrivers, they came in a job lot from a company that were closing down. They came via Motor Technics, and then they said, you know, do you want some of these screwdrivers, etc., and the tools that were in there. So it's like, hey, yep, brilliant. So again, a lot of the stuff in there's been no cost for. There's a couple of snap-on ones in there which had come with me from many years ago, and then things like these little sets here just for undoing sort of door cards and that on the more modern cars. I think that was about £4 from Lidl or Aldi. And because I'm not a mechanic and I'm not working every day on cars, I don't need the expensive stuff at all. Again, most of these spanners have come to me for nothing. And I've got this I've got this lovely adjustable spanner in here, which actually measures for you as well. And this was a gift which I got from work. We have like a Secret Santa, and you could only spend up to a certain amount, and our chairman at the time knows exactly what I do and bought me this, and it's, you know, it's absolutely amazing. So that's brilliant. I've got an awful lot of, sorry, it's difficult when it's one-handed. I've got an awful lot of older tools. If I can get them undone. So, sorry, not very good, I know. So I've got some really little, dinky little spanners in there, but I've actually got even smaller that were given to me. So yeah, the toolbox, I've laid it out very, very roughly for now, because the bottom box is going to be set up as well. But again, some of the ratchets, there was a couple of them that came with me. The rest of them I've been given. Then I love these. I've only just literally found out what they are. So they're like auto wire strippers, which these came in a little bundle that I bought from a friend. There was quite a few bits and bobs in there. And then I've got things like, it's got stuck. I've got things like my magnet, which is absolutely brilliant. I bought this as a present, and absolutely brilliant. And again, I actually call it my bomb disposal kit as a joke, but I've got the little mirror that I can sort of poke in and have a look and see what, you know, nuts on the end of something and whatever else. Again, that was really kind. That was a gift. Getting towards the bottom now. So I've got my sockets, got quite a few missing, as you can see, but I generally have got most of them. Blue is for all my metric, black is imperial, because obviously, even though Rage is a Morris Minor on the outside, everything is MX5, so far more modern, whereas Muriel takes just the imperial. Spare sockets. This puller, I was really chuffed. Dad had a clean out recently and he gave me that. I've needed that on many occasions, so hopefully that will come in useful soon. And then just the bottom drawer, just, you know, full of my heavy stuff. Again, I've got two of these torque wrenches, and those came from my dad, again, because he was having a clear out. I've got a rivet gun, which was in the bulk bits that I bought from a friend. I've been given files. So, you know, it just goes to show, just this toolbox alone, and I know for mechanics that's, you know, they'd look at it and think, Christ, there's nothing in there that I'd use. But for me, you know, I'm really kitted out. What else can I show you? So, a lot of you know Lord Grabby Throwy. He's my bench grinder. Again, he was in the bundle that I bought from a friend. So I took him apart and gave him a clean up and repainted him, etc. And I absolutely love the wire wheel. Can't get me away from it. Anything that needs cleaning, you know, it's there straight away. Then I've got my compressor, which it looks a bit dusty now, but it's pretty much new. I bought this because I specifically wanted to use a shot blast, because with Muriel, the older cars, you can imagine everything is heavily corroded, etc. It's not the biggest, but it runs the shot blast. I was also given some air tools for it. There are a lot more, but Motor Technics gave me quite a few air tools, but the problem was the fitment here didn't fit onto the hose that I'd got for my compressor. So my dad has been sorting that out for me, and I've now got the parts for that, which I need to pick up from my dad. Blast, which I think I bought for about £30 from Facebook Marketplace, works perfectly. I've got to get used to it. The problem is I've got nowhere to sit it at the moment, because when I sit it on a workbench it's too high for me. But I'm going to have plenty of things to clean up in there, so that's really good. And then just staying on this workbench here, I bought this polisher from a friend. I think this was about £50. I think I've used it once, but again, when I'm doing Muriel, that's going to be really, really helpful. Then my grinder, which I bought from another friend. That was a tenner with its case, and there was a few discs in there, etc. I'm not the most confident with the grinder. I do not like them, but sometimes it happens that you've got to use it. Temu for these pry bars, and actually they've been okay. They're not massively heavy duty, but they do for what I need. So I can't remember, I'm afraid, how much those were, but believe you me, they were cheap. Just got the top off a Schultz gun there and a spray gun, which again came in that bundle that I bought from a friend. And I can't remember how much the bundle was. I don't know, 40, 50 quid maybe, 60. I'd got a tool trolley, loads of bits and bobs, and like a second bench with two sort of shelves on it. So that was really, really useful. Not the most expensive, but I'd bought myself a small impact gun. Again, I think this came from Temu. It's got a couple of batteries with it. Hasn't got the best amount of torque on it, but it does the job. I also bought a lot bigger one, a Clark one, and I knew when I bought it that the batteries weren't great, but it got me out of a mess with the MX5 trying to get everything apart. The batteries would last about 20 minutes and then sort of pack up. And I've now, someone else has done exactly the same as I did. They've bought it just to get themselves out of a pickle. And at some stage I will, I think, purchase some guns just to help me, because I am very, very slow when I'm just with a ratchet and a breaker bar. And then here you can just see I've just got a collection of cleaning brushes. There's little wire brushes in there. I'm not going to touch it because it does actually look like it's ready to break and fall. So I need to get a container from those. But that's bits and bobs there. Obviously, I bought my little fire extinguisher just in case, because you never know. And then my dad bought me from B&Q these spray bottles that you can sort of spray the water out under pressure, and those are really good. So you'll see that Muriel is sat on car dollies. They were quite expensive when I looked on Marketplace, even secondhand, and then I just happened to be browsing on Amazon and I just thought I'd pop them in. Now normally for a couple of them it's about £80. These were £57 for 4 of them from Amazon. Okay, you had to sort of do them up yourself, but they've been absolutely brilliant because Muriel has just been able to come in here, and then we've just scooted her sideways so that obviously we can fit Rage in. So that's kind of a look around the workshop. I'll give you an update on Rage now. Rage is running. It's very loud, and we've also managed to, with the help of someone else, we've also managed to collapse the steering column. The steering column from the MX5 went in, and it was so far out into the driver's space. It was horrific. You couldn't get in and out, and it looked really, really silly. So that's been collapsed back down now. The driver's seat is in, just so that we can position everything. So my main job now is to get back in. Most of the loom has been positioned, but all the earths have got to be put on, and before I do that, I've got to make sure that the loom is in the perfect position so nothing's pulling and yanking, etc. Hopefully now sorted the issue with the car sitting so low, and I've brought back my original MX5 wheels, and I think I've pointed out before that the springs on this car have been cut. Somebody's tried to lower the car by cutting the springs. New springs will be coming in, and I've got my original MX5 wheels and tyres back, which are a lot, the wheels and tyres that are on it are a lot taller. And when you lower the car back down on these MX5 wheels now, the driver's side actually looks okay. I couldn't figure out at first why, when I was letting the car down, the passenger side wing was literally trying to crunch into the tyre. So the car is back up in the air now. But then I figured out that the wing on the driver's side had been shaped and cut, but there was a 1/2 inch difference on the other side. So that's my next task, is to try to make a template, and I am not good at these things, and I don't want to go wrong, to try and make a template to cut that passenger wing, and hopefully then with the new springs as well that are the right size, they're standard size, they won't be droopy from age or anything else. I'm really hoping then that the car will sit at its correct height. I'm in a bit of a rush now because I've only got until the 27th of this month before I have to have an operation, and I'll be off my feet for a while, so I'm trying to get as much done as I can. So here is the steering column now, and you can see it's positioned much better. Once the wheel's gone on, you know, there's plenty of room then for the driver to be sat there. I am probably not going to run the airbag system because the wheel that goes on there is quite chunky, and I also feel that just the whole wiring and everything else for me is maybe just too complicated for that system. So my next job is to figure out how this binnacle is going to sort of sit flush in the dashboard. I've seen a few people that have done that. Some of them I like, some of them I don't. But it looks like now with the new column in, I may be able to get that binnacle in without cutting into the demister, but we will see. So you can just see underneath here, the loom is roughly where it should be, but you know, it looks a mess. Steering column has all got to go back in before I can decipher anything else here, but as you can see, you know, we've got earths, that one with the yellow one as well, everywhere that, you know, need fixing in. So yeah, a bit more time to be spent on that, but the car will start and run at this point, although it doesn't like to stay running very long. But there is maybe a technician has said that this coil pack is loose on the back of here because the rocker cover, I've told you, has got a hole in it here which needs repair. So I hadn't bolted the coil pack up tightly. That may be one of the reasons why Rage just doesn't really want to run particularly well at the moment. But today I've just really come down here to talk to you about, you know, all of the things in my workshop. And yeah, I'm sorry, it's still really busy. Once I can get Rage moving on his own steam, he can come out for a bit and go home if he has to, just to give me that room to get Muriel in the middle and start tidying up. You can see my shelves there, they look a real mess. I'm looking for a metal cabinet so that I can just shut the doors and, you know, things don't look a mess. But yeah, I'm a little bit crammed in at the moment. But that's just because I've got so much stuff, and I've got, you know, 2 cars stripped, so it is awkward. So today, just outside of the workshop, are the most beautiful roses, which the garage complain about bitterly. But because I'm here, I think they're kind of letting me get away with, if I look after them, they might be able to stay. So I'm just going to have a pottering morning this morning and trim the roses back a little bit, tie them into the fence, and hope that they don't interfere with customers' cars, and hope then that the garage will let me keep them. And you'll be able to see them when they're in bloom, which will be really lovely.